And we're back. It's your boy, Wardo Jackson, CEO, founder, creator of the great Cinema Draft game. And we welcome back DJ Hal Electronica, aka
Yo,
Charmaine Albritton. What's
what's
going on,
happening?
Charmaine?
I'm good, man. How you doing over there, man?
So I'd hit y'all with the dramatic opening this time. What's going on, Charmaine?
It
How's
was
your collecting going?
epic. I'm good, man. Just, hey, it's Tuesday, dude. The week does not stop.
That's right. Grinding from home. We all work from home now is the new reality. Welcome, welcome. Our Andy Cohen inspired Watch What Happens live style drinking game tonight will be the word extra. Because every time you hear one of us say this word, take a sip of what you're sipping, because tonight's pod will definitely be extra on the personalities that makes these films black AF. Because we're black, Charmaine. We get a little extra sometimes. You know how it goes.
We can and will.
Absolutely. All right, so let me make sure. So can you see my screen? Are you good for seeing my screen?
Yeah, man. I can see you.
Excellent. All right. So first we will go into one of my favorite segments. It is what I'm watching. First thing I'm watching. This is actually part of our draft stream game, which I'll go over later on. But it's Sella in the Spades. Are you familiar with Sella in the Spades, Charmaine?
Yeah, and I caught that trailer, and I was like, I gotta watch this. This looks like a Mean Girls kind of bring them out, kind of druggy. I was like, dude, this might be something special.
Yeah, it's fascinating, man. Oh, okay, good. They uploaded some stills from the show. Yeah, it's a TV movie. There have been some rumblings that they might expand it out into a full-blown Amazon Prime series. But nice young cast, great performances. Basically, it's like part Heathers, part Mean Girls, like you said. Lovey Simone, the young assistant senator, brown skin chick. You know, colorism for some reason was taking over Twitter on Friday. We'll get to that in a minute. She's at the center of all the action. And basically it's this stylized, quietly edgy portrayal of like the pressures of an elite private boarding school and like the various factions that are warring for power. And it's like one faction is like, okay, these guys deal with drugs. One faction is like, okay, these guys run the grades. You know, other factions like these guys are the drama geeks like that. But it's like, it's really political. And this woman right here is a young lady named Lovey Simone. Not familiar with her work, but she's quite compelling at the center, very composed, you know, young lady, she very much embodies the pressures of boarding school black excellence. And it's really good. And so I'm looking forward to seeing if there's going to be more to it. It wasn't quite what everyone thought it would be, because I actually didn't have too many expectations going into it, but it very was stylized and kind of edgy. The first time filmmaker, her name is Tayarisha Poe. She had a lot to say about it. I think she's about 30. It's her first feature film. She had a lot of stuff to say about that whole kind of culture, and I dug it. It was definitely type of kind of high school black experience that we're not used to seeing before. So I liked it a lot. I think you enjoy it too.
Nice.
That is Sella and the Spades. I thought it was Sela. It is Sella. All right. Next one is, and this one definitely gets an air horn. It's Homeland. We're down to the final episode, everybody. It's been a long ride. I know we lost some people along the way. Have you watched Homeland, Charmaine?
Nah, but I noticed it's like 8 seasons deep, I think, and it's coming to an end. Like, it's been around for a minute.
Typical Showtime fashion. You ain't a Showtime show unless they run your ass for 7 seasons at least. This one is clocking it, and it's 8th season. It definitely wasted a season or two here and there, but it is finishing strong. I've been impressed with this season. This season's been very entertaining. Definitely mirrored a lot of what's going on in the world today. Talks about an Afghanistan truce and everything, pulling troops out and what have you. Saul Berenson, a.k.a. Mandy Patinkin, still on the grind. Carrie Matheson, a.k.a. Claire Danes, just putting in some great work with, you know, her bipolar character. It's great. I've truly enjoyed it. It's coming all to a head. Not to give anything away, but we really don't know what's going to happen with Claire Danes' character. We don't know what's happening with Carrie. Carrie's struggled with her mental health throughout the entire series. No one ever believes her. She's always off on her own. People always think she's a traitor as her CIA operative self. Actually, now in this season, she's no longer CIA operative, but still wheeling and dealing behind the scenes. And I can't wait to find out how it's going to turn out. It's very, very compelling. And Homeland, Can't see me because my camera's not working again this week. But I salute you. I salute you, Homeland.
Salute.
Yes. And then finally, and I might have mentioned this last week, but this one I could not wait for. The last thing I'm watching, it's Black as Fuck, aka hashtag Black AF. Are you familiar with Black AF, Charmaine?
Man, you got to school me on this one. This one kind of caught me by surprise because I saw on Twitter there was a lot of discussion with Rashida Jones and her blackness. And I was like, what's that about? What's happening?
Oh, that was ashy Twitter having its moment. You know, you can't take those ashy elbow fools nowhere, I swear. And anytime one of us try to present anything slightly different, you know, they have something to say. Now, granted, some of their concerns were valid as far as the portrayals we see of Black people in the media tends to favor either lighter skinned folk sometimes, or at least in Hollywood, let's put it that way. Hollywood tends to associate, you know, almost like as aspirational or almost like better than, you know, having light skinned people, you know, be the center of it. And so, of course, they had something to say because at the center of this show, 2 light skinned people. But you know what? This is actually a satirical take on Kenya Barris's real life. Kenya Barris is the creator and one-time showrunner of Blackish. He also created Mixed-ish and Grown-ish. He's all about that ish. And he's also done movies like Barbershop. And this one actually threw me for a loop. I think he co-created America's Next Top Model with Tyra Banks. I'm like,
What?
This guy's big. Yeah, this guy's making money forever. Yeah, actually, let's check his IMDb real quick. Kenya Barris got credits. Look at this. All right, so started off in the Keenan Ivory Wayans show. Does some more, for lack of a better term, Black shows, Soul Food, Listen Up. Was right around Girlfriends. All right, that's what's up. Getting those credits there. Are we there yet? I guess that was a TV series.
There was for a couple of seconds. Yep.
All right, so you saw that. I didn't. Went along. The Game, I know is popular in the streets. Never quite popular with me, but he wrote 11 episodes for that. And then America's Next Top Model got him some money. 27 episodes. I guess he was he's the creator. That's real money. That 257
episodes.
When you're a creator, Charmaine, I'm not sure if you're familiar, but when you're a creator, you get a check in perpetuity. That is your baby. Michael Crichton created ER. His estate is still collecting checks off ER in syndication. All right.
Wow.
So that's how you get that stupid money when you have like a hit show that goes on for multiple seasons and goes into syndication. And then he did the Barbershop sequel, the next cut. And then he started doing his ish. Then he got, he did Girls Trip. Damn, his money's long. His money is long. So yeah, so Grownish, Blackish, Mixed-ish, all that sort of stuff. And he's working the Coming to America, like the number 2, the Coming to America sequel. So yes, this guy's got long money, stupid money. He had that $100 million Netflix deal, which is a little splashy on the heels of Shonda Rhimes' deal. And this is his first entry out the gate, which is Black AF. And it's a hard satire, a hard, funny satire on a satirical take on his life. Basically, Rashida Jones is standing in for his real life wife, who I think is now his ex-wife, but basically, and how he has 6 kids, because he does have 6 kids in real life. I actually saw a picture. It's quite a brood. And they basically just hype up just the worst edges of his personality that may be real or not, but it's a really funny show because you see basically Black rich kids growing up being, rich and Black in largely white environments. And I can't say I necessarily related to it, but I thought it was hilarious because if you take this any way to be serious or real, I mean, you're already lost. All right. This is not real. This is like people compare this to kind of like the Curb Your Enthusiasm. Do you watch Curb Your Enthusiasm?
I remember that.
Yeah, and it's actually still going on. I've tried starting it like 3 times. I just couldn't get into it, probably because there weren't enough Black people. This show has got enough Black people, and I laugh my ass off. And yes, you have him cussing at his kids cussing back, because these are like nouveau riche Black folk. This ain't the way you and I were brought up, all right? I mean, I don't know if you got money or not. I definitely don't have any money yet. But this isn't. But we were brought up this way, and so to me, I took it for what it was. Just I mean, a new breed. These new dudes with new money, raising or more like the kids semi-raising themselves. And there's some real personalities on, some great performances. Rashida Jones is hysterical. There's an episode 2, I think, where they're in a club on Molly, both of them, and she's just like dancing your ass off. It's the funniest thing I've seen.
Oh gosh.
You got to see it, dog. You got to see it. I think you saw the trailer, right? What'd you think?
Yeah, man, I did. I liked the trailer. I like what I saw. I was like, yep, we're gonna watch this.
Yeah, man. And Kenya Barris, he's not an actor. I mean, I think he's been in like maybe 2 or 3 things, but he's playing himself. And to be honest with you, for a guy who I don't think is a trained actor, he does fine. Like, he's fine. The characterized version of himself he plays is kind of like a whiny, super competitive guy. He's always competing with Rashida Jones here, and she it's funny. It's like a war. It's like a war of side eye throughout the entire first season, where they're just constantly trying to one up each other, or try to pit the kids against each other, or try to just be right. And I don't know about you, but I grew up in a household, it's just me and my mom, but my mom and I, but it was a household where being right was everything. So I kind of related to that a little bit. As I grew older and got out the house, I'm like, that's not a way to live. Like, I'm kind of over it, but sometimes, you deal with your parents, you just want to be right.
Exactly. I get it.
I mean, not to get into your marriage too much, but like, I mean, what are those? Do you see any similar dynamics in your relationship with your wife? Do you guys try to one up each other, or?
Oh, it's a chess match. It's either directly or it's cute and indirect. So yeah, it's definitely there. It's competition for real.
Yeah, man. So that's what I'm watching. What are you watching?
So it's funny. I'm big into The Voice right now, and the reason I watch it, I'm trying to see which black character is going to get far. So that's how we.
It's not like The Bachelor, is it? Where they're always out in the first round.
Nah, it's not like because like what happens is you have like a John who's on one of the judges, so he's got a loaded team, and surprisingly, Blake Shelton got a nice little loaded team of black folks. So it's a good, well-rounded balance, man. It's frozen right now due to Corona. Like, they don't have the live shows, but it looks like they have a lot of. They got a lot of talent there. There's a guy there named I can't think of his name. He's from Hawaii, and I was like, dude, that's your name? And he's talented too. He's a brother. So I was like, okay, we're gonna watch him. Hopefully he makes Thunderstorm. That's his name, Thunderstorm. I was like, and that's his real name, not his fake name.
Oh, really? Oh, so they're naming kids Thunderstorm in Hawaii now. Okay, all right, good to know. That's good to know.
And if your name is Thunderstorm, you either come in with it or get off the mic. So he brought the flavor on there. So yeah, that keeps us busy family wise. I'm into a lot of cooking shows, man. It's kind of weird. Like, I'm watching Drivers, Diamonds and Dive, and Buddy versus Duff. I was like, damn, Food Network. Because maybe where I'm at, we don't get a lot of decent food, and I have to cook it at home. So I just kind of watch it to get ideas.
Oh, look at you, amateur chef over there. Actually, I'm sorry, maybe you're a professional chef. Just waiting to be stuck.
Well, I'm a professional in my mind. I haven't gone to get any formal training, but I do have a ton of, I'll say, home experience. I've been cooking at the house for over 20 plus years, 2+ decades. So I guess minus the formal training, I know a little something. So I had a grandmother who was okay at cooking, which made me get better. And I had a couple of other influential relatives who were like, okay, yeah, you should keep doing that if you like to do it. It's a good dichotomy between that and my music. So
all right, so watching The Voice, cooking shows.
Yeah, and then I picked back up movie-wise. So I started watching Parasite. I started watching it.
Oh yeah,
I watched it at a bad time. So I was like, okay, I'm going to kind of get through. And what I saw so far, it was definitely gripping. I just unfortunately started watching it at the tail end of the day, and it started watching me. And I was like, okay, I got to watch this when I got a lot of.
Look at that Metacritic score, 96. That is outstanding. So how far did you get? What's going on?
I'm like maybe 20 minutes in. And when I watch it, I'm probably going to watch the rest of it. So I got it to the point where they were in the house and the exterminator came, and the exterminator like exterminates the house, and like, we'll just stay right here and we'll just take it. I'm like, whoa. This is.
Or them trying to scam Wi-Fi off people. And
yes.
Yeah, that's. No, you've barely scratched the surface. I'm excited for your journey for you. It's one of the most original films I've seen in my entire life. It's like Star Wars and then Parasite. Because I can't. It's hard to explain. There is a twist, and you'll know it when you see it. There is a twist, like an hour in, where you're like, whoa. I mean, it's kind of flips everything over on on its head. And if you and when, not even if, but when you go back to rewatch it, you will see that he, Director Bong was laying subtle little hints along the way if you were paying extra attention. I know it's kind of hard because it's in Korean, and so your subtitles, you're looking partially down, but also trying to catch the expression. So like I get it, but upon a rewatch, and you will want to rewatch this, I promise you, you'll see all these little things, all these little Easter eggs he left out, he let in there to let you know of what was coming. And it was it was an oh shit moment. It was oh shit moment. And the cinematography and everything, it really gets good. Once they get to the actual house, like the house of the rich family, it's something else. That's a beautiful house. There's a lot of great stuff with colors and contrast and stuff and lighting. Yeah, you're gonna enjoy it. And are you watching this with your wife, or are you just watching it solo?
It's just me right now, man. My wife's not really a big movie buff, and she's really like, okay, she'll watch like a seasons of television shows, but when it comes like a 2-hour movie, she's like, nah, I don't know if I can commit. I was like, really? I was like, you're missing out on things, but that's okay. That's more movie for me. So.
Yeah, amen. Yeah, well, I'll extend to you this invitation. Next time you're back on the show, we can talk Parasite once you finish watching it, because you'll want to talk through some of the themes. I remember I watched it for maybe the third time with my mom. I strapped her down, made her watch it, and we spent a good hour afterwards talking about class, income inequality, and just all sorts of stuff about how capitalism works and doesn't work. It's that type of movie. Like, you're only 20 minutes in, you don't see any of that stuff quite yet, but you will. It's something else. Parasite. Or as one of the or as the kid, this guy says, "Oh, so metaphorical." This big old rock, big old dumb rock. All right, so that is what we are watching. And we're going to move on to the main topic of this episode. We are going with our top 5 Black AF movies. The rules are, we name a movie centered on the African American experience. We alternate picks. When someone picks a movie, that movie is out of play. Now, since you are our guest, Charmaine, you have to go first. And what's your first movie?
Dude, I'm bringing in Glory for the first movie, dude. It's traditional, civil rights, Black folks fighting for nothing. And it's just got Denzel Washington in there, dude. It's like one of the first real Black movies I started watching. And I mean, it's not all Black, but I center on Morgan Freeman.
Oh, this qualifies. This definitely qualifies.
Yes, it's
a Black ass movie.
It's very, like, Denzel has lines in there for days. And then that right there, that hit me. Gone with me. I don't care. It's a classic to me. It's a classic. And I don't know, maybe, I guess it's my inner war buff, kind of like watching this unfold from the Black perspective. Like, growing up and listening to history, you always heard about the Caucasian point of view. When I saw Glory, I was like, damn, we were fighting too, and we were pretty good. Damn. So that
whole regiment of us. Yeah, actually, when I first saw this movie, I don't think I saw it in the theaters. I might have actually saw it in class or something, but even still, like the 90s, it was like social studies, whatever. And that kind of hit me over the head, like, wow, like, we had a whole regiment. That was history to me. And I was kind of proud. It was exciting. There it is, the Denzel here. There it is. Screen cap. Yes.
Tear.
It's my dude. Love him.
Look, classic. I mean, all those cats in there, but then, what transcends this movie also is some of the Negro spirituals in it. That's what really, the movie sticks with me. Like, even to this day, you can like even hear hints of it, even in Blackish. And I think Tracy Morgan did it one day. He was like, the whole around the fire. Yes, exchange the story. I was like, you can't. And to me, that's what makes that movie Black as fuck. That's the damn the spiritual aspect of it, the spiritual songs and what have you. The wordplay, the screen, the plot, all that's good, but it's just that those moments that just make it like, this is our experience. Yeah, we're gonna make it happen with the country, though we don't like the country. We're gonna do it anyway, because that's just what we do. We're resilient people.
Yeah, well done. I believe the director was Edward Zwick.
Yes.
So great job, Edward. Way to cast. You're casting, top notch. And a great first entry, Charmaine. But I'm going to take this one off the board real quick because I can't believe you didn't take it. Boys in the Hood, damn it.
Oh.
I mean, it's in the title. It is the blackest movie I may have ever seen. It's great. It was so inspiring, especially at the time in my life when I needed it, going to almost an all-white high school, private school. I was just, I needed to see this movie at the time it came out. 1991, what was I? Sophomore in high school, maybe. I think it came out that summer. And yeah, Boys in the Hood. It was like that. Ice Cube's first acting role, killed it. Doughboy, young Cuba Gooding Jr. Ricky! Everybody remembers Ricky. Did you cry when that happened, dog? Be real. Did you cry when Ricky got shot?
I was shook, I'll have to say. I didn't get misty, but I was shook, though. I was like, dang.
I mean, back then, I mean, yes, I've always fashioned myself as somewhat of a writer since I was 5 years old, but that was early in my development, so I couldn't have seen, like, I mean, I'm not saying it's necessarily obvious per se, but it just really took me for surprise. It really just killed me when he got shot. Like, I couldn't see it coming for nothing. Today, maybe some writing experience could have led me to be at least mentally or emotionally prepared for it. But at the time, I was not prepared. I might have shed a tear in the theater. I really might have. Regina King, does he have a girlfriend? I mean, we could quote this movie backwards and forwards. It's just so unapologetically black, and I loved it. It was black through and through. The soundtrack was incredible. Had a black point of view, black fatherhood in a positive light for a change.
Yeah.
I mean, young Angela. Look at Angela, the ageless Angela Bassett.
Yeah,
this movie had everything. Had everything. So, Boys in the Hood. That's my number one pick. What's your second pick, Charmaine?
So, although I was close to giving you Boys in the Hood number one, let me tell you why I didn't put it for. So, yes, it is black AF. I grew up, when this movie came out, I was in Colorado. And Colorado Springs specifically is the home of the wannabe gangbangers. Basically, all of the California gangbangers who got in trouble, the 3 strikes you're out, couldn't make it, they moved to Colorado Springs.
Really? Isn't there like an Air Force base there or something?
Yeah, dude. So like and by the way, we didn't live at the Air Force base. We lived in the hood. So I lived in a hood that portrayed a lot of this. So when I watched it, I was like, okay, I don't know if I'm happy about this movie yet because I'm living it kinda. I'm like, so I'm the Trey character. I'm the nerd of all of this. And my Ricky is a homeboy white boy. And people were getting shot, like over drugs and everything. So when I saw Ricky, or when I saw my boy Ricky got shot, I was like, okay, this is really happening. So the big limelight for me was where Trey went for college. That was the first hint that I got of Morehouse.
There it is. Yep. Yep. That might have been the first time I had heard of Morehouse myself. Like, I mean, that sounds bad, but I grew up in Seattle. Lily White, especially back then. So, and my mom was trying to make it, as far as colleges were concerned, I was thinking Ivy League, because that's where everyone else in my private high school is going. So,
yes,
that might have been the first time I really heard of Morehouse myself, too.
Yes, yes. So, my number 2, and it's a close number 1, is actually School Days.
Oh, very nice.
School Days. So, after seeing Boys in the Hood, figuring out about Morehouse, I ran into a very Afrocentric brother, and one day he was watching this, and I came in on the homecoming scene. And I was like, what movie is this? And my man was like, School Days. You didn't know? I was like, nah, what you talking about? He's like, this is Spike Lee, whatever. So he was kind enough, and these were VHS days back then. He started the movie from the beginning. I was locked in from the jump, dude. I was like, okay, I need to go to an HBCU. I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I need to go. Like when we talk about super black, there we go. Super black. Like it was there. And the whole ending, the whole wake up, I was like, yeah, I'm starting to find purpose in what I should be doing, how active I need to be as an African American. Like I found purpose. So this one hits hard. And it's weird that it came out in 88 and somehow I missed it in 88. So I guess we were 8th grade, not 7th grade. Yeah, so I guess it was like, a little bit above us, but it still caught up with me later. And I was like, yeah, I can, a young Jasmine guy.
Yes. Have mercy. Let my cishet guy out. Woo. Yeah, and actually I'm almost ashamed to say, but I don't think I even watched School Days until I was out of college. Like, I don't think I saw it until like maybe 2000, 2001, something like that.
Like I said, it was easy to miss. If you weren't in the right place, time, person to tell you, you could easily have missed it.
And it's so funny because when you watch, you see all the places on campus where, you know, oh, that's the Bell, oh, that's,
yes.
you know, BT Harvey Stadium. Yes. They're wearing all the Morehouse stuff from then. I mean, save money on costumes, whatever. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yes. It was there. Although I didn't pledge or what have you, but I got the spirit of the Black college, and the Black college definitely exceeded my expectations. Like, the movie set a good precedence, but just going through it when we were there, it was priceless. I had my own version of School Days. That's why it's like it's my definite number 2 on the list, easily.
All right, excellent. All right, well, I'm definitely taking this one off the board. It's Coming to America.
You know, that's in my runner-up section, right? But I'm with you on that.
Kick yourself. This is how the way the game's played. You got to. You made. I mean, what's going to be popular? What's going to be smart to take off early, because this is one of the funniest comedies ever made,
Black or
otherwise. It's. I mean, and you want to talk about Black AF? I mean, it's about an African prince coming to America, into, you know, one of the blackest parts of America, trying to find his queen in Queens, and it was just excellent. I mean, what can you say about Coming to America that hasn't already been said? It's Eddie Murphy in his prime. I mean, that run of Eddie Murphy, I mean, probably starting from, God, he had, what, a good 10, 15 years where he was just the man. And because of movies like this thing, just, I mean, from the prosthetics and everything alone to the guest star, I mean, John Amos, to the whole conceit, too, taking a prince and making him a pauper, and throwing him in the fish out of water in a foreign country too. It's such a great high concept. It's awesome. I love everything about this movie. Another eminently quotable movie. Everyone has their moments to shine. Arsenio Hall, probably never hotter, probably got his talk show off of this movie, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. That was,
you know, look at Eric LaSalle. Let your soul be loud. It's so fun. You know what? I need to rewatch it. It's been a while since I rewatched Coming to America. It's time. You
have to watch it at least every couple or every few years, man. You gotta like.
Yeah.
And it comes on TV. Like, if you look up a couple of times, it's always on TV. Like,
I bet. I mean, yeah. This is great. So that's my pick. Coming to America, second movie off the board. What you got?
As we take that one down, I'm coming for I'm gonna take House Party off the board, dude.
Okay.
House Party. I gotta go House Party because that's my musicianship. I love dancing. It gave me a look at what does it mean to be, you know, artists actually making movies. And it was a young Tisha Campbell and my favorite Martin Lawrence. It was the start for them. And, you know, it brought in Force MDs and all that. So to me, this movie, very black. Very black.
Robin Harris. Any movie that's got Robin Harris, you know it's Black AF.
the late great Robin Harris. It's just so many things about this house party going wrong, or the Jumbo Captain Crunch.
And it is definitely so 90s. I mean, everything about this thing screams 90s, from hairstyles to the clothes. I mean, I had one of those, was it polka dot silk shirts? I mean,
who didn't have one?
No. Man, and look at Martin. Quit bumping the table. Quit bumping the table.
Yeah, again, the reason it's like Kid and Play, big legends of hip hop, although they may not get full props. They weren't the best rappers, but they had their moment. And again, if it wasn't for this movie, we may not have a Martin show. So
good point.
I have to lean on what's legit now House Party 2 and 3, whatever, but number 1 is definitely one of my Black AF experiences. Look at that Kool-Aid.
Oh God. Oh, now this picture right here indicts me, because that used to be me in my 20s when I had metabolism. Back in the 20s, I was drinking mixed flavored Kool-Aid, using red, all the way up until at least 30, 33. It's so bad for you. People, I mean, we know better now. I mean, maybe we even knew better back then, but something about this is a uniquely Black experience. Putting the Kool-Aid with all the extra sugar, because that was your boy. You come to my house in Ladera Heights or Westchester or Lawndale, I'd have some Kool-Aid ready for you to sip on. All the extra sugar.
What color was your Kool-Aid, bro? What flavor?
Red.
There we go.
Red. Yep. Oh man, yes. Great pick. Totally black AF. Love. Way to take us down memory lane. I guess my third film. Let's just get this one out the way because I'm sure it's coming off the board. Regardless. I'm torn. Okay, I'm gonna risk it. I have my last three all lined up, but there's a good chance you might steal one. So, but I gotta do this one. I can't let it go by. New Jack City.
Ooh, that's a good one.
New Jack City. I mean,
am I my brother's keeper?
Yes, I am. Oh my goodness. I mean, like what? One white guy in the entire damn thing. Your boy Judd Nelson, and he was backup. This thing was black from stem to stern. I loved it. It was fun. It was scary and dangerous. It showed the best and the worst of us. It really did. I mean, some people would say, oh, it kind of glamorized, drug dealing, but it really didn't. I mean, you walk into Carter, like you said, like that lower level, it's like walking into a war zone. It's crazy. Yes. There's very little glamorous about that whole deal. And especially when you saw Chris Rock as a junkie get clean, then go junkie again and get himself killed, it's like, ain't no glamorous about that. All right, now this is glamorous. Everyone looks pretty smooth right here. But
wow.
Outside of that, it's like
I could rock that coat today with Mario.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Asian. Look at that trench coat.
Even the Asian trench, yo.
Yeah, Asian trench. Scotty Appleton. I want to shoot you so bad. My dick is hard. So many quotables, and of course, a breakout role for Wesley Snipes. I mean, Wesley was already a big deal by then, but my goodness, he really did stand out in this movie.
He did.
I mean, so many Christopher Williams, oddly enough, and he was probably that was probably his apex mountain when he had, a hit R&B's album and had the whole light skin thing going for him back when people actually cared about whether light skin was in or out. I mean, he had his moment too. And Ice-T, I mean, who knew that this would set Ice-T up basically for the rest of his life as an actor, as a straight up actor. And you want to talk about people with stupid money? This guy's been working for Dick Wolf for the last 25 years.
Which is nuts. 25 years.
Ice freaking T. I mean, at this point, I don't think he really acted before this movie. And he was great. He blew the doors off this sucker. So,
he did.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
I don't think Wesley has been as black until Blade. And that's not even saying much, but I don't think Wesley, of his roles, to me, this is it. I mean, he's got others, but this one just it just set the tone.
Yeah. And Mario Van Peebles directed this one, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So this movie was black in and out and through. I mean, and this is one of those type of movies where if you a certain podcast I listen to where called the Rewatchables, when they go back and rewatch like favorite movies, whatever, one category they have is, could this be a 10-episode Netflix series? I say hell yes. 10 episodes, 5 seasons. I could have watched this world forever. It would have been great. Actually, we kind of got it to an extent as The Wire,
Yes.
So I can't kind of improve on what's already been done the best. But this came out, good 10, 12 years before The Wire. So this is something else.
Well, those drug crime movies were big back in the early 90s, man, because the drug wars and
Just Say No.
What was it? So not Boys in the Hood, but what was the other
Menace
movie?
to Society.
Yeah. So all
and then
that
Straight Out of Brooklyn. Yes.
Yeah,
Matty Rich totally tried ripping off. Not Don't Be Mad. That's comedy. That actually a pretty black movie. Menace to Society. He totally ripped that off, and he thought he was hot shit, would have a career, and then of course we never hear from Matty Rich again. No, he did The Inkwell and then disappeared.
Oh, The Inkwell. Oh God.
That's a fairly black movie. That's pretty black.
It is. Yeah.
So that's my third one, New Jack City, and I am finger crossed that you don't get my other two. All right,
dude, I'm gonna mess with you though. I'm going international for a second. International black, and this is one that it kind of surprised me. And it's black. It's like, oh, this is worth watching the subtitles. The Black Orpheus.
I don't believe I've seen this one.
Oh,
I've heard of it. 1959, right?
Yes. So poor Spanish dude, musician, just trying to make it. And it's based off of the Greek mythology of the Black Orpheus. So the thing was, the story was told with Black characters. And it's nice.
Oh,
It's
hello.
nice.
Marpessa Dawn, hello.
It's nice. I want you to go watch it, and then we'll talk about it. It's
well,
nice.
Well, tell us what it's about. I mean, tell the people, because
Come back to the IMDb page, because it's been a second since I remember the theme of that. So they retell the story of the hero Orpheus and Ulysses, the myth of the time, and basically it's a Romeo and Juliet story, but it's set in the scene of poor Brazil, and that flip, I was like, dude, this is dope. Like, it literally caught me. And by the way, look at the year, 1959. This is the first movie that, like, I went back and was like, whoa, maybe I need to look at some older movies a lot further. It's good. It's a love story. It's Black. It's legit. It's like it's different.
I have actually heard of it, but I didn't know what it was about.
Yeah,
so, it's Black Orpheus. I'm literally writing this down on my list, my own movie list.
It's classic Black as fuck on an international level. It's one of those ones that just stick with me. Like, when I first saw it, I saw this at Morehouse. Like, my Spanish teacher put me onto it, and I was like, wait a minute, this is an all Black. What? What?
Yeah, we exist other places than the U.S. Absolutely.
Yo, Fail, man. He tried hard, man. He tried. I'll just give it to you that way. But the story is the story, and it was a good retelling from a Black point of view. So that's what I like. So, like, some Black movies for me, I like the different things. Like, I'm glad I got exposed to this, because it was definitely different. I didn't see it coming. And the ending, you're going to be like, oh, shit, really? So, a lot of cheesy 1959 things in there. Like, but there you go. Yeah, poor old fellow.
Okay, all right. I'll definitely check it out. Wow, you did go deep on this. All right.
Yes.
Well, now I'm feeling a little more secure. Thank you. I can close out in style. But still, some strategy be played. So let me not totally play myself out. I think I can get away with.
What you got?
You know what? I'm gonna do this one. The Best Man. Take that one off the board.
That was very Black.
Very Black. Very much, at least, I'm not sure about you, but, well, actually, I am sure about you. We had relatively the same experience. We went to the same college, Morehouse College, the house. But this definitely kind of spoke to us. I mean, these characters are all just a few years older than us in age, and so it was basically about, like, young Black professionals making their mark in the world. 1999, we were seeing this out in the theater, and just, like, first of all, seeing, I mean, this much Blackness, professionals doing their thing. It was aspirational, definitely aspirational, because we definitely went through that. We definitely went through that stretch where, you know, they were treating Black folks mostly as, like, subjects or objects of crime, or dealing with crime, you know, crack or whatever, the drug war. Okay, great. We've done those. We're good. We've seen those. And now we're trying to branch out into more romantic comedies and telling more, you know, middle class stories. Not that there aren't, you know, stories in lower class, you know, whatever. You almost never see stories of just the upper class.
Right.
Black folk, which is why I really liked, you know, #BlackAF, the show, because, you know, that's definitely a family you haven't seen before. At least not in the Black family, not in the Black community. and it was just good to see so many, you know, young Black people about my age, college educated, doing stuff. There's a group of college friends who are getting together for a wedding, and all the old secret stuff get, you know, brought up between Taye Diggs and Taye Diggs getting married to Sanaa Lathan. This is, I mean, and I was fully in love with Sanaa Lathan at this point. Just so beautiful. And I think 1999, I remember seeing, because Love and Basketball came out, I think, in, what was it, 2000?
Yes, I think 2000? So.
Yeah, so I can't remember how I wrangled it, because I used to write movie reviews for about a decade, from like 98 to 2008, and this is kind of before blogging. I was able to get them placed in some, like, local SoCal newspapers, whatever, and somehow I got myself on these screening lists, and somehow, some way, someone got me into a rough cut screening of Love and Basketball. So it had nothing but temp music, like music they kind of put as placeholders and stuff, and like the musical score wasn't all the way worked out. It's like a totally rough cut. Just want to get some initial impressions of it. I remember seeing her in that, and I think the year was 99, and I just fell in love. And then I think I saw her in this and in The Wood, and it's like, and to this day, I mean, Sanaa Lathan, just stay away from me, because if I see you in the street, I might try to marry you straight up. If I ever get married, she might be my hall pass, whatever, and any exaggeration you want to put on a person, that's how I feel about Sanaa Lathan. So Sanaa Lathan was great in this. Nia Long was at the height of her Nia Longness, off several, was In Too Deep and other shows that she was in. Your Boys in the Hood, which I think was one of her which I think was her first breakout role. And everyone's just so black and beautiful, all shades, all colors, and all types of personalities. You had square ones like Harold Perrineau's character. You had wild ones like Terrence Howard's character. Terrence Howard, man. Morris Chestnut's I mean, it's such a great. Actually, he's the one who's getting married, right? He's the one who's getting married to Mia, and Taye Diggs is the best man. And it was just such a great middle class, upper middle class black story. College, something I can relate to for a change. Because I mean, and yes, I believe in seeing the diaspora of black experience. I do, from rich to poor, from foreign to domestic. I believe in seeing that, but we over-index definitely on the crime aspects pre-late 90s. So this is definitely a Black AF movie that I truly appreciate for all the reasons why I just listed.
It is and even the sequel, although it's like
a
decade to make. The sequel, it was legit. It kind of stuck in there. It had a darker theme, but it was cool. So
yeah, I nearly shed a tear. It got deep. It got deep at the end.
Nicole Carson. Wow,
yeah, man. Back when she's making that Ally McBeal money.
Oh my God.
Okay, Morris. All right. I think Morris is actually still with his wife. I mean, that's yes, Black Love. To quote another fairly Black AF movie, Mo Better Blues, Black Love, it's a beautiful thing. Our boy Wesley, everywhere. All right, so what's your last movie?
Man, I'm gonna wrap up and take Black Panther, man.
All right.
I got to take it. And the thing is, like, when I first, I let the hype die down and everything, and I was like, you know what? We're not gonna get another black superhero movie except for what is that thing on? Oh, it's on Netflix. Black Lightning is the closest we may ever get to that. But Marvel did it right, man. I gotta respect them for what they did. I mean, futuristic black people hidden in the woods of Africa, you can't beat that. And they come and it's up to them to bring the better technology to the world. We had that. I don't care if the story is outlandish or whatever, man. It was very black to me. Futuristic black. I mean, it was issues.
African diaspora black. It was, yes. I mean, I learned a term that I really wasn't acquainted with before, Afrofuturism. I learned that type of, I mean, it ended up, for a Marvel movie, for a superhero movie, all the little detractors people pin on these type of movies, it was educational, it was inspirational, it was all the O's you could think of. It was an event.
Yes.
Now let me ask you this: how and where did you see Black Panther? Did you see it with people? Like what was the first time you saw Black Panther?
So, being a family man over here, we didn't catch movies like when it first came out. So unfortunately, like I got subjected to a lot of the hype and you got to go see it, and I had to kind of blot it out. So I saw it in the theater. My wife and I, we actually went a matinee. A theater matinee, and it was like one of those things where as soon as we finished it, my wife and I both looked at each other and said, we got to watch this again because we don't know how we're going to experience it. So it wasn't, I wish I would have had it with a lot of people, but then I'm kind of happy we did have it with the theater to ourselves, so we could just kind of sit and soak in what had just unfolded in front of us. I imagine that there were people around us, may have been applause and all that stuff, but that was just like, it was deep to me, just kind of watching that, just unfold in front of us.
Yeah, man. I actually drove out. Like I had opportunities to see it, maybe not so much like a screening, but early, like a little early or at midnight or whatever. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna treat this as the event it is. I'm gonna wait and see it with my people. So I drove from Vegas to LA to go see it with my LA fam. We actually call ourselves the fam. And there was like 12 of us, bought a block of tickets. We went to go see it on the big screen at the Grauman's Chinese Theater, Hollywood Boulevard, center of the entertainment universe, 7:30 p.m. showing that Friday night. It was a deal, right? It was almost as good as if I'd seen it at a premiere, right? I mean, we had these type of things set up over there. It's actually, well, that's actually the premiere, but they had similar types of things set up. They had someone dressed up as Dora Milaje and people dressed up. I think a couple people in our group dressed up or something, or had one person had like the Black Panther necklace T-shirt on or whatever. It was a deal, right? It was a big thing. And I remember we went to sit down, and I turned my phone off so get the preview started. And right before preview started, like, oh, hold up, we're gonna bring out, Kevin Feige, mastermind producer of the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and Chadwick Boseman. We're like, what? So they come out like, yeah, thanks everybody for coming out. We appreciate it. I'm stumbling, trying to turn my phone back on so I can get the picture. And of course, by the time I got my phone back on, they were done. I was like, shit, that's what I get for being a responsible moviegoer. Damn it. Everyone got pictures and stuff.
Keep your weapon hot.
yeah. You know what? Always keep your weapon hot. Absolutely. So that was a cool experience, and of course I enjoyed it. It was great. And then I saw it. I think a couple days later, I saw it in D-Box, 3D D-Box. That's the one where the seats move because a lot of action in that. Oh, look at our baby girl. Look at Yara Shahidi. We love Yara. Yeah, so it's just I mean, look at how many photos there are. We have yet to get to an actual shot from the film. There's so many press photos. Everyone wanted to be associated with this movie when it came out. When the all-time money making films for Marvel Universe, and finally, I mean, if not ever before, finally, this is the type of movie that dispelled that Black people can't do business overseas, because this thing made over $1 billion. So
right, it clocked. It brought it. Wow.
So much Black. It was great. So so Black Panther, excellent pick. It took me back there. That's great. Oh boy. Well, since we already know, at least watchers of this video podcast know, Boomerang is my favorite movie of all time ever. So that's just a given. We're not going to add this to my Black game.
Marcus.
Darling. Yes.
Marcus.
But similarly, another comedy. Not to say that all Black people are good for is to laugh at, but this is pretty much a seminal comedy, just period. And it's Friday. I can't think of anything blacker than Friday.
That's very Black.
I can't. It's the blackest thing ever. To the point where it is thoroughly co-opted parts of popular cultural lexicon. Bye Felicia came from here. Bye Felicia came from Friday.
Yes.
Miss Parker. I mean, damn. I mean, so many quotables. So many. I mean, so many breakout performances. Michael Clark. I mean, Debo. Freaking Chris Tucker. Bernie
Mac.
R.I.P. to the GOAT. I mean, you want to talk about another Black AF movie, Players Club. Never started in Africa. I almost put a Players Club in there. Buckets naked in the nude.
Now we're getting very dirty Black movie.
I miss that man every day. He was so talented.
He's phenomenal, dude. He shut it down. The Bernie Mac show, all that. He just, golly.
But yes, but Friday, just an average Friday in Southern California, 1995. Where were you? I guess you might have been a freshman.
So that was a year, my first year in Morehouse for me. So you were
okay. Oh yeah, I was a junior. Yeah, and I saw it in Atlanta. We laughed our asses off, and then I think a year later, when the VHS tape came out, everybody had it. I had that in my possession for the longest time. And then when it came on DVD, I got rid of the VHS for DVD, and I had that. And then when I decided to go to all digital everything, put everything on Dropbox, I've got a copy Friday. You know I do. So digital rush. It's what you need. I'm not saying that there is a definitive list of cultural significance you need to be considered truly Black or someone African American, whatever, because that's definitely stereotypical. But if you have not seen Friday, you are definitely lacking something to the African American experience, because this brought it all out. It brought out subtle shades of economics and socialization, how what bullying looks like as adults. how we interact with each other, drugs, but not an overwhelming thing with drugs. Drugs is, just one other plot line, whatever. How black don't crack with Ms. Parker. I mean, just so many nuances of African American life can be found in Friday if you really, really look. And on top of that, it was funny as fuck. So
it definitely. I haven't seen Friday in like a while. I need to go ahead and just dig it up. So
yeah, same here. It's been a while for me too. But I mean, it spawned a couple of lesser sequels. It's fine. But the original Friday was. It's a classic. Nia Long. I mean, everyone you want is in there. John Witherspoon, R.I.P. Mr. Bang 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 himself from Boomerang. Yeah, it's a classic.
Yeah, Friday. You can't get any blacker than that. So that's a good one to end on. I like that.
That's right.
Major key.
All right, so we will bring this section to a close. And before we proceed, this is the time of the podcast where we tell you a little bit about Cinema Draft, what the game is and how you play it. So we'll take this pause for the cause, for those new and returning, to learn just a little bit more about the Cinema Draft game and how to play it. And we'll be right back shortly after this. And we're back. All right. Now, the quarantine movie of the week last week was American Assassin. And I'm excited that a few of you checked it out and hollered at me on Twitter. I appreciate it. I'm still holding out hope for a sequel. Probably not happening. This week's quarantine movie of the week will be, and you can find these posted on our Twitter account at Play Cinema Draft on Twitter. This week's quarantine movie of the week will be Hancock. Not quite in the theme of being black AF with this podcast, but it does star Will Smith, our black superhero. But he's basically a drunken anti-hero superhero who kind of comes under the auspices of a publicist played by Jason Bateman who wants to rehab his image because he's tired of Hancock just busting shit up and flying around all drunk and stuff all the time. And I enjoyed it personally. It was billed as kind of a big summer movie. Superheroes, I mean, yes, they've been hot for a while, but was an interesting twist, which I won't necessarily reveal, but there's a role that Charlize Theron has to play as Jason Bateman's wife in this movie. Peter Berg, right back there, the director, he's gone to do even bigger and more budgety things. He's done smaller things, I think, like Lone Survivor, but he's also, he'll blow some stuff. He did Battleship, which no one but me liked. Did you see Battleship?
I remember Battleship. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, Rihanna. I enjoyed it. It wasn't a great movie, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And also, fun fact, that's how Rihanna gets the name for her followers. You know how they call themselves the Rihanna Navy?
Yes.
They get it from that.
Oh, snap.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's like it's like how our communities reclaimed certain words. They reclaimed Navy for Rihanna. They're like, you know what? We like Battleship. It was straight. We the Navy.
To me, Hancock is one of Will's underrated good movies. Like, I saw it, and I don't know, I won't say it was like blockbuster theater worthy, but it was like, it was good. It was unexpectedly like, whoa, wait a minute, dude. This is what he doesn't make a bad movie. Like, he kind of makes it his own and does his thing with it. So it was like a good side break from the Men in Blacks and all the other things he was doing. So it was a good takeaway.
Right, and also a couple of fun facts. This movie actually was going to be R-rated, but I think, was it Disney that put this movie out? They lost their nerve. They just like, we just can't do it. It's got to be PG-13. And you can feel them pulling their punches throughout this movie to its detriment to an extent. It's not a bad movie at all, but it's like it could have been so much more if they really.
It could have been more if they took it over that edge just a little bit. It was right there.
Absolutely. And another fun fact: this movie was written by Vince Gilligan, aka the creator of Breaking Bad.
Wow.
Yes. We all have long careers, hopefully. and he wrote Hancock. Was it 2008? So I think that was right before Breaking Bad, huh? Breaking Bad started back in, I want to say 2008. Right. All right. So that was the beginning of a great run for Vince Gilligan. I'm not sure if you watched Better Call Saul, the Breaking Bad prequel, but that just ended an excellent 5th season last night. Are you familiar?
Wow. No, I didn't even know there was a prequel to that joint, so that's new. Wow.
Have you watched Breaking Bad?
A little bit of Breaking Bad, so I know it's a good series. It's one of those when I have time, sure we'll get that one, but I trust that one's good. So.
Oh no, you want to watch? I mean, it honestly is. I've rewatched Breaking Bad the series maybe 2 or 3 times, and it is The Wire 1 and then Breaking Bad 1A. You know,
Okay.
it's like that. And actually, I mean, at the tail end of my last rewatch, I was this close to giving up The Wire. I mean, they were about to flip spots, but I mean, now I'm rewatching The Wire episode by episode in conjunction with this new podcast that's out by the Ringer Network, starring Jamel Hill and Van Lathan, and they're taking every episode of The Wire and breaking it down, doing hour-long treatises on The Wire, you know, doing categories like who won the episode, you know, who talked the most shit, you know, this week, stuff like that. Really digging deep into it, enjoying it. And so I actually, before we started recording tonight, I actually just rewatched season 1, episode 2. The one with Wallace, aka young Michael B. Jordan, very, very pre-Creed, where he's talking about like the man who created chicken nuggets for speed, Ritz the motherfucker. It's brilliant. It's like took the bone out.
Wow.
And you can see with, I mean, obviously this is probably the 5th time I'm rewatching The Wire as a series. It never gets old, but you just see with the benefit of perspective and of course anticipating what's coming, but also having rewatched enough times and this time actually watching it with the captions on, because I used to never watch it with the captions on, just seeing just how precise they were with names and places and procedures they're laying out, which they'll call back on 2, 3, sometimes even 4 seasons later. It's really masterful work. So that's what I'm going to be doing for as long as they do this rewatch on the Ringer. I think it's called Down in the Hole. That's the name of the podcast. Okay. Down in the Hole. So you can look it up on any of your podcast devices and you can watch along with us. But that's kind of how I'm enjoying it as well. So yeah, so now you've got your quarantine movie of the week and maybe even another podcast and a rewatch of TV of the week. And I do want to shout out everybody as a big thank you for all of you who played our social CD game. Are you familiar with social CD, Charmaine?
No, break it down, man. What's that?
All right, so basically, you know, people on Twitter, a lot of people are home now or are working from home, spending more time online on social media. I don't blame them. You know, some people try to get out of work here and there, playing little games. And I thought, you know what, while we're still rebuilding the site and getting everything back up to speed, and especially while movie theaters are out, we don't know necessarily when they'll be back, but that's another story. Let's do a little social media five game for the people. And basically the way it works in social CD is that every week I come to you on Thursday and I give you a new cast of about 12 people, or a talent pool of 12 people. And you need to pick your cast for $100 or less. You must have at least one headliner, one co-star, and one day player. You must have exactly 5 players and you can't spend more than $100. And you do get a bonus for getting headliners in your lineup, but as you can see, they are quite pricey. And the way it works is that after I post this on a Thursday, then on a Friday, we do a Twitter poll of who's your top headliner. And then on a Saturday, your top co-star. And then on Sunday, your top day player. And at the end, and then on Monday, we tally them up between that and our Facebook. And we dole out the points accordingly. And basically it's a simple, 4, 3, 2, 1. But of course your headliners get a 40% bonus. So 5.6 for Tessa, the lovely Tessa Thompson, who was our #1 headliner vote getter of the week, followed by Kristen Stewart, Kate McKinnon, and Luke Evans. And then you score yourself accordingly. And I do believe mine came out to be 15.4 points, which I think was all right. I mean, you could have come a little harder. But the fun of it is to figure out the type of cast you can create, giving it a title. Well, I tweet entirely too much, so I'll never find it. Anyways, you get the idea. You get the idea. It's a fun little game to play. It's free, no real prize, just something to kind of pass the time. And I've got a few more weeks of this as I kind of test out this variant of the game. Another game I definitely want to turn you on to, and might require a little bit more of your time. But this one is called Draft Stream. And are you familiar with Draft Stream at all? Have you seen any of the newsletters recently?
I've seen a couple of newsletters Done.
Yeah, we are. So basically, this is a spreadsheet version of the Cinema Draft game at its best. And this is actually, fun fact, how I came to work out the game mechanics in Cinema Draft, the game, before we end up coding it up and putting it on a website. I bugged a bunch of my friends for about a good 6 or 7 month period. Every Friday, come up with these spreadsheets of talent pools, stuff like that, and have them manually put together a sheet and stuff like that. And I do the best I could to automate it or whatever, but I was getting them to help me figure out how this game would actually work in reality with buttons and graphics and stuff. So this is kind of the raw version of the draft stream game, and same kind of concept as Cinema Draft. You have a $100,000 budget. You need to have 10 people on your call sheet, but you have to have at least one headliner, one co-star, one day player, and you can't exceed $100,000, and you must have exactly 10 actors or cast members. But the difference here, though, is that besides it being on a spreadsheet and everything, which can be a little cumbersome, I understand, and you want to also fill in your tiebreakers because we got really close this week, but this is all dealing with streaming content. Since we don't have any movies out in theaters for now or for the near future, I kind of predict that we won't have movie going, and I don't care what that okay, let's try to be diplomatic. I don't care what that misinformed governor of Georgia or those other 4 states which are trying to open up too early on Friday. I don't care what they say. We're not going to have theaters open en masse until July, August at best. It won't be safe. But so for now, we're doing some streaming content. And so we've got your Black AF, we got your Netflix shows. The Last Dance, as you can see, was our highest performer of the week. And the way the ratings work is that we take an aggregate weighted average of Rotten Tomatoes, critic score, and their audience score, as well as the Metacritic's critic score and IMDb user score. And as you can see, the Rotten Tomatoes audience score and IMDb user score, those are weighted heavier. Those get 60% more value and points because we want to take the onus off of critics. Like I said, I used to be a movie critic or whatever. We can be up our own asses sometimes. So we got to give more of the power to the people. And it's been a really interesting ride so far. We've only done 2 weeks. This past week was our closest one yet. As you can see, very tight up at the top. Only less than 2 points separated first and second, and less than, 0.02 points separated me, your boy, Swag Official, and fellow podcast guest Henry G, aka The Roan. 0.02 points separated us from third place. And so it's all fun and games last week. This week, it's going down for real. This week, as you can see, some of the titles we have. Oh, someone's already checking out. I like that. Thank you, Anonymous Giraffe. This week's talent pool, we've got Bad Education, The Beastie Boys Story, Defending Jacob. That's an Apple TV Plus movie with Chris Evans and Michelle Dockery. The new Penny Dreadful. We got some stuff. Extraction, that Netflix movie with Chris Hemsworth. It should be interesting this week. And so this week will be the first week we're actually offering up a cash prize. So help your boy out with some data. We need the data. We need more players, more data. The top 2 non-Cinema Draft employees to win will get a split of a $50 prize pool, $35 the first, $15 the second. We even have a nice, helpful little video you can use. They'll show you how to play the game, a little demo video, shows you how it's done. And we need participation. So if you got 10 spare minutes before Thursday 6 p.m., that'll be Thursday April 23rd 6 p.m. Pacific time. That's when call sheets are due. Make sure you get them into me. It's really easy once we have the rules, how you fill them out, break down the scoring, your talent pool and your call sheet. Do a little copy paste, and then you share it with your boy. Share so I can edit it at cinemadraft@gmail.com and send it away. I will have a link in the description of this podcast episode for you to click and get to it. Thanks a lot. All right, and that, I guess, wraps up the draft stream portion of it. And for the most part of our episode, our boy, Charmaine Albritton, aka DJ Hell Electronica, thanks so much for coming back on the podcast.
Yeah, man.
Had to get my DJ Khaled in there for you. Yes, bruh. Thanks for coming through. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. And your number one fan, aka the Draft Mom, will certainly be happy to hear your voice.
Yeah, man, glad to be here, and definitely seeing the movement of Cinema Draft, man. It's dope.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And this is the time, this is part of the episode where I tell my guests to go ahead and plug your ish. What ish you got to plug this week?
Yo, so folks need to come on out to my BeatStars site. They want to get some music. If you do a quick search, man, BeatStars, How Electronica. That's where, if you want me to do some things for your TV shows, your movies, you're an artist, I got you. That's BeatStars. That's BEATS.
Oh, BeatStars.
Yeah, BeatStars.
BeatStars with a Z or S?
With an S.
Okay.
Space, How Electronica, and that should bring up our page. If not, we'll just go directly to BeatStars and you'll see what it looked like. So yeah, just go to beatstars.com. Okay.
And that's How Electronica with 2 A's, HAAL, Electronica. Yes. Why the 2 A's? Just like curiosity.
So the short story is HAL stands for Holla at a Laptop. So that Holla at a, but that's a lot to write. So that's how it's shortened down to HAL. Also, I got to play on 2001 Space Odyssey. It's one of my favorite movies. So
was he 2 A's as well? I don't. You know what? Oh god, this is a terrible pop cultural hole in my resume, but I've never seen 2001.
That's all right, man. You got to kind of be up in there to see it. So. So go to the search box. There it is, right there. It comes up right there. So there's a feed. So here's my site. Come on in, and you can lease some of my music if you want it. You like it enough. Hey, I'll go ahead and sell it to you exclusive. So each week I have plans of putting out some new music, new tracks, new ideas. I may associate it with a YouTube short video, but again, I want you to come out here and hey, check me out, because I do want to make sure I get my tunes into your product.
Oh, that's excellent. That's excellent. So if you like press that, it gives you like a sample of your beat. Is that how?
Yeah, man. Yes. This is my latest Yellow Cake Bake. Released that last week. I'm working on my next composition I'm gonna put out.
Okay, I dig it. I dig it.
Appreciate it, man.
And I think in the spirit of that, we'll let you be our outro music this week.
Hey, that works.
Thank you, everybody, for listening and watching. We appreciate your support. Make sure you support our boy, Hal Electronica, beatstars.com/Hal Electronica. Also, make sure you check us out at CinemaDraft at cinemadraft.co. And also check out DraftStream. We need your support. And you might even win a little bit of money. Y'all at home, y'all ain't going anywhere. Why don't you help a brother out with some data? All right? Anyways, instead of go see a movie or something, we're all trapped indoors. So quarantine with a movie or something and holla at your boy. Thanks for listening, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Let that beat right on out.